In this video, we're going to look at the first steps of getting started selling on Amazon through Flxpoint. You'll log into your Amazon Seller Central with your professional selling account, and we need to gather the seller or merchant ID as well as the MWS auth token. You'll go up to Settings, User Permissions, and then click Visit Manage Your Apps. You're going to click Authorize New Developer, and you can find the developer's name and developer ID located on our Amazon as a channel support doc, and you can see them here in this video as well. Once you hit next, agree to the terms and conditions, you'll be generated your seller ID, the marketplace ID, which can also be found at the bottom of the Amazon as a channel support doc, as well as the MWS auth token. Once you gather all that information, it's time to set up your connection inside of Flxpoint. Once inside of Flxpoint, you'll need to create your Amazon channel by clicking this plus button and just naming it Amazon. I already have a channel on my test account. So to set up the sync products, get orders, publish products, and sync orders, the four main operations, we'll click into the integration with the gear icon. Click into integrations. You can start with sync products. And when you start to establish the connection, you'll choose your integration as Amazon. You'll establish a connection, and this is where you enter your seller or merchant ID as well as that auth token. And you can use this test connection button to ensure that the connection was successful. You can go through that and enter the marketplace ID, as well as generate a default mapping template here. You'll establish that connection on each of these main operations inside of Flxpoint to connect to your Amazon store. As you go through and set up the connection for each of the operations, you can generate the default mapping template on step 3 of each setup. But before I wrap up this video, I wanted to touch on a couple pro tips. There are some settings on the get orders operation. So when you click through, just make sure if you want to change any of these, you do. Just pertains to how long we retain the personal identifying information, as well as the day range in which we'll pull orders from your Amazon, as well as that order status. So change these to how you wish, and you can save and complete the get orders. The last tip I want to talk about is on the publish products template. You can generate the default, but then for most FBM customers, you'll want to set this fulfillment center ID to this default option here, as well as adding some rules onto the product ID and product ID type field to ensure and limit any errors you may face later trying to publish your Flxpoint listings to your Amazon store. This rule configuration here can be used, for instance, if you're using your UPC as that product ID type, and for instance, maybe the supplier data feed isn't providing you with those UPCs. You can use this rule setup to essentially say if that UPC does not exist, then we can set the product type to an ASIN value. And same thing, if the UPC in ASIN does not exist, then we can set that to EAN. Same type of rule configuration on the actual ID type. And I'll click into all these rules, and it would be beneficial to set this up on your default publish template to make sure we limit any product ID errors upon publishing or attempting to publish on your Amazon channel. Once you add those rules onto the publish template and save, you should be all set up with your 4 operations set up and configured on your Amazon channel. Thank you for watching this video on getting started selling on Amazon with Flxpoint. If you have any questions, please reach out to our support team and we'll be happy to assist you.